Stud Muffin 1986 here. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I did a video not too long ago on the comparison of how World of Tanks Blitz Tiger 1 compares to the real Tiger 1 in terms of performance, armor, a lot of different aspects. And I got some really good feedback on it and wanted to throw another video out there, dove into some research, and thought it would be interesting to dive in to see how the real Jagdtiger in history compares to the World of Tanks Blitz Tier 9 Jagdtiger. And honestly, there was some really interesting things with this. As a matter of fact, there were some things that really impressed me with how the one was in history compared to how it is in World of Tanks Blitz, and how similar there were some things. So we'll dive in and go over that. Hopefully it's a good video. I know I had a YouTuber and I apologize because he did actually suggest a video for one of these. I will have to do that as one of my next ones. I believe he suggested the T-34, but I'll have to go back and check. So yeah, the Jagdtiger, a tank destroyer that came out toward the end of World War II, was in service from 1944 to 1945. This thing was a beast. And when you dive into a lot of the research, the stats, the performance, the armor, there's just a lot of things, like I said, that was very similar. I pulled up, just to start things off here, I pulled up to see what the armor was like historically for the Jagdtiger, and in comparison to the one in World of Tanks Blitz, it is almost exactly the same, which really impressed me. The only difference is that the bottom glaze of the frontal hull is 120 millimeters in World of Tanks Blitz, whereas in real life, it actually only had 100 millimeters of armor. Now, in terms of the engine power and weight ratio, it's a little different. As a matter of fact, the one in real life was not as maneuverable or fast. So the one in real life, like I said, was a little slower. However, wargaming has been pretty spot on, with the German tanks being very accurate. These cannons were among some of the most impressive during its time, and very, very powerful. Now, there are two different types of Jagdtigers in Blitz. There's the 8.8, and there was one that had a 12.8. And the 8.8 one was mounted on the Jagdtiger, primarily, from what I understand, was because of resources, cost, etc. And they had 8.8s, so they started attaching them just to get more tanks out in the field faster. So very, very interesting. And now, in terms of penetration, it was hard to find some precise numbers on this, but this thing had an incredible amount of penetration and would just absolutely rip through some of these tanks it would face in the war. And so, just a very, very deadly and dangerous tank to come across. This thing put massive holes in some of the tanks that it took shots at. So definitely a very deadly tank. So accuracy, very spot on. Armor, very spot on. Maneuverability is just a little different. All in all, the tank in real life and how it performed is very similar. So honestly, I see stuff like this and it almost makes me want to play the tank even more a little bit. It's honestly kind of cool to see even how close some of these tanks can possibly be. So anyway, hope this was interesting. This was all about the Jagdtiger Tier 9 12 with the 12.8. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Stud Muffin 1986. You guys stay cool and keep tanking.